Seedoeatreview here with the lovely Beck. I'm not going to say it wrong like I did last year. It's Somnia, and I called it Somnia last year. You can find that on YouTube, that video. But for those who don't know Beck, she's in Somnia 2.022, or how do you call it?
Yeah, we sort of say 2.0, 2.2. It's meant to just mean 2.0. We've up-leveled, but it also happens to be 2022.
Because it's part two, because this year's Somnia, if you saw it last year and loved it as much as I did, it's a little bit different this year, but some people don't even know what it's about. So go, Beck, explain away while I drink some lovely red wine.
Somnia refers to sleep, and the show happens in my head at night while I'm asleep. And the reason that we picked this theme is dreams are awesome and sometimes terrifying and sometimes sexy. And I happen to have a sleeping disorder which turns the dial on my dreams all the way up to 1,011. So narcolepsy and idiopathic hypersomnia are terms for a collection of symptoms where your sleep-wake cycle is just all out of whack.
So some people might have a bad night's sleep and say, oh, I had a bad night's sleep. Beck's been going through it for how many years now have you had this narcolepsy problem?
I've diagnosed for, I guess, coming up on a year and a half.
Yes.
But have definitely, now that I know that this was what it was, always. But people think it's other things.
Yep.
You manage it in other ways. You mask. You don't realize that the whole cluster of things that you're experiencing all are under the umbrella of this one thing, and that this medication could help.
So you actually, when you were undiagnosed and when you were unmedicated, you actually think you're going nuts to some extent, don't you?
All sorts, all sorts. You know, it's like, am I lazy? Is it motivation? Is it overactive brain? Is it, childhood trauma? Like growing up religious? And, having all these nightmares of night terrors and sleep paralysis and waking up and there's orbs of light in your room and you're like, is that from something on your chest and you're like,
Is that where you would have had people telling you, oh, you just need a good night's sleep, or you're just a bit stressed?
You're just overactive brain, or that it's your brain grappling with things. You're emotional. Your brain's just sorting things out.
And it's hard to explain to people because it's an unseen illness.
Disorder. And I think, now that I know more about it, especially since we talked last year, I understand the different categories of what's just a nightmare, what's a night terror, what's a hallucination, when you're falling asleep or waking up, so when you're switching states between wake, sleep, and REM. So we have problems with the way that we do that, and that's different. We jump too fast, we miss restorative sleep, and we then things kind of encroach into our psyche that are terrifying. Like I stopped watching horror movies when I was 15 because I thought that, again, it was I thought it was me, but turns out that everybody with narcolepsy.
So what fascinated me with Beck last year and this show was she's taken this illness and turned it into an entertaining, somewhat scary, fascinating show, which I absolutely loved. Coming from her brain, all of it, told in is it Greek sort of aspect, or is it a bit of a lot of elements coming from it?
Yeah, absolutely. Are you trying to get me to say the guy with the ring?
No. We won't talk about Thanos. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, well, obviously, I love alliteration and I am a creative person. And so I just wanted to find a name that encapsulated the show, but just wasn't like that narcolepsy show. And
it's a good name for a show, then.
Yeah, you know what I mean. You know that show about the dreams. But yeah, I mean, I love mythology and and metaphor and yeah. So
So,
I looked to mythology, and the god of sleep is called Somnus.
so that's real?
That
Somnus
is real.
Okay. Because you know what? I've heard of
Also,
insomnia.
Well, there's different, in different cultures, different, but I chose the one that sounded the most useful and relevant to me.
Because I've heard of insomnia. I've never heard of somnia before.
Yeah, so
we don't talk about
insomnia is meaning that you're not getting enough sleep.
Yeah.
So insomnia means you're not getting enough sleep. Where hypersomnia actually means you're having too much sleep. So I fall actually into both categories, funnily enough, but hypersomnia means you're having excessive sleepiness. Often people with narcolepsy have excessive daytime sleepiness, but then at night, when it's time to sleep, your brain's like, I don't think so.
Yeah.
Let's stay up all night.
Yeah, cool.
And then you have insomnia, which is not enough sleep.
So when you have a good sleep, do you say, I had good somnia?
Yeah,
I've never heard that before. I've never heard it before. Anyway, this show's told in how many different acts, how many different structures? It's not just one long hour show of Beck saying, I can't sleep.
Yeah. We've changed the opening. The opening's a lot more fun.
Yes.
And does involve a very bedazzled toothbrush and this going to bed sequence.
Yes.
And then I am visited by the god of sleep, whose children in the mythology were called Somnia.
Yes, there we go.
Somnia means actually dream shapes or sleep shapes, dreams.
Yep.
And the Somnia would carry the dreams from the other realm and deliver them to sleeping humans. So we have these two Somnia characters and the god of sleep, hopefully, in the show. And they put me to bed and help bring these dreams to me. Each dream sequence is one of many that I've had, and also we've thrown in some that I think everybody can relate to as well. Some of the common ones, alien visitation, sleep paralysis, flying, feeling trapped.
Is a demon making an appearance?
The sleep paralysis demon will make an appearance.
I struggled to sleep.
And we've souped up that. We've souped that right up.
Yes. So it's told in cabaret, it's told in burlesque, it's told in acrobatics.
We put it in physical theatre this year because we're like, what are we?
Yes.
But yes, so we have cabaret and burlesque elements. There's also sideshow elements. We've brought in a bed of nails. That's all I'm saying about that. You have to find out what we do with that.
I love it because it's taking all elements of the Fringe but putting them into one show, which is
Ariel.
a nice, get all in one.
Exactly.
And Ariel as well.
And the Ariel, of course. So,
the Ariel is, yes.
We've tried to take and create aerial equipment that fit the theme and that can help tell this story. And so, it's a little bit fun, it's a little bit sexy, it's a little bit spiritual, and a little bit terrifying.
And it's at a really good time now. I think last time we won like 10-10 or 11-10.
Yeah, so
it's at 9:40 this time at the Vault.
Yes.
From March 15 to March 20. Is that all correct?
That is correct.
Garden of Unearthly Delights as well. So you'll find that in the Vault and Garden of Unearthly Delights. Yes. Anything else to add to this show? I'm prepared. I'm prepared.
What should we add? Well, we've souped up the bed. The bed, for people who saw it last year, the bed is now chrome.
Okay.
And it flies.
Okay. I might have some vision to show people after this interview as well, maybe. Just a little glimpse of it.
Yes, and it is R-rated.
Yes.
It's more R-rated.
Okay, there you go,
guys.
So
please come being willing to celebrate bodies, celebrate that we're going into the deep psyche, and sometimes there's sexual elements in there.
And there's an important issue about narcolepsy as well. So there's a lot of elements to take in, lots of fascinating acts where, if you don't like burlesque, well, we jump up to the aerial, we jump up to nail bed.
Sideshow.
Bed
Yeah,
nail.
exactly.
Bed, nail. Anyway, Beck, thank you very much for your time, guys. Check it out, March 15th to the 20th, 9:40 p.m. at the Vault. I'm on my game.
Come check it out.
Cheers, guys.